Hey, this is Keep It Real Carter, and I'm going to talk about a very controversial topic today here on The Kirk Show. Now, I was asked this very controversial question. I said, hey man, can two people be married even though they don't have the same views? I said, in certain sections, certain situations, yeah. Because let's just face facts. Two adults coming together to form a union, I'm not going to 100% agree. Then they said, what about religious views? I said, that's a very broad statement. Are you talking denominationally? Are you talking a total difference in faith, like Christian versus Muslim, Christian versus Jew, Christian versus Buddhist? Because all of those, there's definitely distinct and significant differences in how one believes as individuals. And why would you want to do something like get together and have these contrasting views? And they say, no, man, everybody who say they what they are really don't practice religiously. I say, yeah, that's true, because a lot of folk that claim to be Christian, they just chants. There's no Christ in them. Anyway, they took it to another step, which is why we're having this discussion. They said, what about if one was an atheist and the other was Christian? And I was like, whoa! Interesting! How does that work? And of course, me being who I am, immediately went to the Bible. Now, the Bible says, so if you're not equally yoked, somebody's carrying more of a burden than the other. Because you know what yoke means, right? It's not talking about egg yolk. It's talking about a tool that was used to group or pair up beasts of burden, whether it was a cow, or horse, or ox. And if there was an unbalance, the yoke had to be equal, because that means one beast was carrying more of the burden than the other. And usually they were pulling a plow through a field. And when you're pulling a plow through the field, the line had to be straight. It would have an impact on the harvest, the increase, the way of life itself in the agricultural age. Well, the application is here. If you're unequally yoked, it's going to have an impact on how you survive and the impact of your increase in your harvest in today's society. What do you mean? You have a non-believer, or atheist, I'm sorry, that means there is no God, with a believer. Let's say it's the husband that's the atheist and the wife that's Christian. I guess she thought he believed God when he was about to bust and said, oh God! I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go there. Or maybe she thought she could change him. What, like he a baby or something? You could change his pampers. Women, side note, you cannot change a man. Got that? Ain't gonna happen. All right. Or maybe he was like, I love the character and the way in which she carries herself, which comes from her belief system, so he'll marry her because she has a sense of morals. But now they're married for almost many of the wrong reasons, but yet right reasons. Now she's a faithful member of her church, which she probably was before they got married, or later became one after she started going through hell in marriage and didn't want to lose her marriage, so she started going to her source of help. So she prayed with the God, she's going to church. Now she's back in church and she's faithful. And you know, a significant part of a marriage is money. A significant part of the worship experience today is money. I'll tell you a story that happened. A woman was faithful to God in her church, but her husband didn't care. He knew she was at church and she came home and she tried to live holy, so she She operated in all the right ways to be pleasing to God. And he was fine with all that. She cooked, she cleaned, she was servant, she was had a sense of servitude to her husband and her family. But one day, he noticed that was something happening. She ain't buying nothing. The money is different. Okay. Well, she invited him to church for Family and Friends Day, and he said, all right, I'll go. He went. Most atheists are cynical. You know that. In fact, he probably thought it would be a comedy show to laugh at the people as they respond in worship to this non-existent being, lifting hands to nobody, giving God praise to giving praise to nobody, shouting and dancing to nobody. You know, that's probably how they think. Like, this is just a joke. Oh, they're playing make-believe or pretend. And he was having a good time laughing and seeing the sights, even enjoying the quality of the music, until Pastor got up and welcomed all the visitors. And when he realized that he was the husband of this faithful woman, this woman that was a beautiful, active member of the church, and he said, so that's Sister So-and-so's husband. Oh, brother, I want to thank you for allowing your wife to be such a good and faithful member. And that $10,000 contribution to building fund she gave, he stood up and said, $10,000? Yes, sir. What? $10,000? Yeah, he hit the roof. I want my money back. In the middle of service. Give me my money back. He hit the roof. Yeah, he wanted his money back and demanded his money back. Can you imagine the silence, the shock? Except for me laughing in the corner. I was dying. It was hilarious. So, here's the dilemma. This atheist is married to this Christian. This glass represents the Christian. The Bible says, out of your belly shall flow living waters. This glass, which is filled with some strange little liquidy substance. No, it's not alcohol. And no, it's not a waste product. It's just a mysterious substance, as far as we know. Why? Because atheists don't believe in something as definitive as something that is crystal clear to us. This is cloudy and murky. This is crystal clear to us. This is how people that believe God see atheists. Though atheists think that they are crystal clear and that this is how the Christian appears. So these two items in the glass that look like they about the same amount, so they're not unequally yoked as far as the definition of what yoking is. It looked like they can go together if I decide to do a mixture of two. However, in that situation where the gentleman was at church making his demands, his reaction had a complete impact on, we'll put these away, we'll do these, some of these later, okay, had a complete impact on the woman and her relationship with the church, other members, and her husband. Now, that huge problem that goes even deeper. She probably didn't even tell her husband that she was making the contributions. Or maybe she did tell him and it just didn't hit home because she might have done it in pledges over time. Nevertheless, when he saw the bottom line, he had a fit. Now this takes us down another rabbit hole. Marriage is hard work with two believing people. Marriage is hard work with people that are members of the same church, let alone being totally on different ends of poles. So I don't know what would make a Christian marry an atheist and what would make an atheist marry a Christian. So I go back to the original presenter of the question. Hey man, why would you pose such a thing? Man, I just had to ask because, I believe God and I think that, it can work if one's witness is strong enough. I said it won't work. You can try to make it work, but it won't work. How? It won't work. Why? Unless there's a change and the atheist becomes just like this, it won't work. And he says, why? And some of you might be saying, why? Well, I'm going to show you. There's no way the Bible says when two get married, the twain shall become one flesh. One flesh. After you've copulated, the two flesh becomes one. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Copulate, procreate. Maybe not procreation. Okay, when you love sausage, meat, love tongue. Yes. Now, this is what's supposed to happen. If you copulate, water goes in, one source, water goes in. One flesh is one flesh. Make sense? But if you're two different substances from two different backgrounds, then when you go to copulate, this is what happens. Notice. Yes. The one substance is floating on the other substance. This substance, the top substance, represented the atheist. This represented the Christian. Christians, when you combine, come together, or work with somebody, I don't mean work on a job, I mean become incumbent with somebody who does not believe like you believe and live like you live. You're not the one in control. You're not the dominant one. You're actually the submissive one, because they usually end up getting on top because they appeal to your flesh. There's a battle. Long story short, can a Christian and an atheist live together? No. Why? Because oil and water don't mix. That's the Kirk Show.